Hello everyone and welcome to my Unreal Engine 4 tutorial series. And in this episode we're gonna make an inventory system. So last time we left off with setting up the inventory and these components and UI, and we're gonna start with this. So open these three things, your inventory component and this two UI, the inventory slots and your inventory window, these three things. It is nice to have your inventory a name. Let's say your inventory name is a player's bag, so it is nice to have that, and you can add this component to a chest and call it a treasure chest. So let's make a variable. I'm gonna call it inventory name. So name would be fine and the type would be a text. Hit compile, save, minimize that. Inside your player character, if you click on this inventory component, you can see a name. So I'm gonna call it player's bag. Compile and save and just close that. So we have done this thing. So your inventory does have a name. So now open your inventory window, and we don't need this canvas panel. What we actually need is a size box. So add a size box. So grab a node and here and make this desired, so you can see how much you want. So the size box, click on this child and height and width override, and the height and width would be 550 and 800. You can play around with these values, and whatever is fine for you, you can just set that up. Inside the size boxer, we need a border, because we need a border to look it bit more clean, and make a brush to 0.4 alpha. Yes, this would be nice. Inside that border we need a vertical box. The reason we need a vertical box, because all the child values inside this vertical box gonna arrange that to up, then down, and then down. So it will gonna arrange all the things inside this vertically. This is why we need a vertical box, and inside the vertical one we need two things. First is a border and second is a grid panel. So search for grid and add this grid panel to here. Just close that up. I'm gonna call this grid panel inventory grid and make this a variable. So hit compile and save. The border, we need a overlay, because inside a border you can only add one thing. You can't have two or three things, but inside your overlay you can add as many things as you want. So this is why we have added this overlay, and inside that overlay we needed text. The reason we have added overlay is if you want two or three things in your this part, you can just add it. The text would be your player's name, the inventory name. The the border of this would be a little bit this dark, so that you can see the name. The text would be center horizontal and vertically aligned, so it makes more sense. Hit compile and save, and this is all things which we need now. Yeah, so we have done all these things for this one. Now for the inventory grid, so how much your inventory grid can have columns and rows, so it depends on it. So for me, the columns are the vertical lines, so let's say I need 1 2 3 4 columns, and I also need 1 2 3 4 rows. So the inventory grid would be aligned to this one, so it will gonna 1 2 3 4, the 4 slots of your inventory gonna appear here, and the 5th slot will gonna appear downwards, the second row in the horizontal alignment would be centered, the horizontal alignment, so it makes more sense to this one. So hit compile and save, and we have done the inventory part UI. Go back to your inventory slots. As The same thing, we don't need this canvas panel, we need a size box. So grab a size box and add it to here and make this desired so that you can see what are your desired values. The child and height layout, I am happy with this 125, but you can set it to whatever you want, it doesn't really matter. Zoom it a little bit. Inside the size box we need a border. Yep, a border. The border brush color would be this one, the alpha of 0.4, because it makes more sense. And inside the border we need an overlay. So we have added an overlay inside a border. Let's add a padding of your content to 5, so you can see all the things, the side of this padding with 5, and add this padding of this child to also a 5, so it makes more sense. This is our child box, this is our border, and this is our overlay. This three things. Inside our border we need a image and also a text, two things. Image, let's make this to fill all the things. The image would be your image item, to item image. Yep, hit compile and save. And this would be quantity, so item quantity. So this will gonna represent what are the quantity of your item has. Let's say by default this 3, we're gonna just bind it to your item quantity, but for this and this quantity is presenting to top corner, top left, but we want it to set it right bottom, so just click on this. You can just manipulate with whatever you want, and it is not presenting because the color is white, so I'm just gonna call this to red color, yellow, red. Yep, I am satisfied with this, and I'm gonna use that color, so I'm just grabbing that node and pasting it here. So if you want to use that, you don't want to just set it every time, just grab this, click on this, and you can use that. Hit compile, and I think this font size is might large. 15 would be fine, and just add some padding towards this 5, so it will gonna padding from right to 5. So this is our slot and this is our inventory. Now for the slots, we need a certain things. First thing is our slot structure, so what our slot is containing. So slot struct, make a variable called slot struct, and I'm gonna call it slot structure, this one, and this would be instance editable and exposed on spawn. Make sure you do that because we want to expose this slot structure. Make another variable called slot index. You can also make this instance editable by clicking on this eye icon. So if you click on this eye icon, you can toggle this instance editable on and off. We need this one instance editable and exposed and spawn, and the slot index would be an integer. So hit compile and save. We need another variable called inventory. So inventory, and this inventory type would be your inventory component. So inventory component we have just made the object reference, and this would be also instance editable and exposed on spawn. So we have made 3 variables, instance editable and exposed on spawn. So we have done these things. Go back to your inventory window, this one, and what we want to do, we want to spawn all the inventory slots inside here. So how are you gonna do that? Go back to your inventory graph, make a variable called inventory, and the type of inventory would be inventory component. Yes, we need this inventory component in both sides, the slot and the window, because we want to do that in both the things. Delete that pre-construct and the tick because we don't need that. Pre-construct it. The event construct is called whenever your widget is calling. Whenever your widget is creating, this construct will be called. The p construct will be called before the widget is creating. So whenever you create the it will gonna definitely spawn, but we need this one. So we have done these two things. We also need a inventory name because we want to bind that. So inventory name, we want to just instance editable and exposed on spawn. The type of a name would be your text type. Also we want to make this one for inventory component, and so make sure your inventory component is also exposed on spawn and instance editable. Hit compile and save, and make this test box bind to your inventory name. Compile, save. So we have made this thing, and for the biggest part, we want to make our inventory grid to create all the slots in a proper manner. So how do you gonna do that? So I'm gonna search for a for loop, and you can find this for loop. What is a for loop? So for loop is gonna loop from a certain index. So for the index, grab inventory, this inventory component, and get number of slots, the variable we have just made in our inventory component, and we're gonna minus it to 1 and attach it to your last index. The reason why we are doing this is because the for loop is 0 based index, and your inventory array starts from indexing 0. So this is why we have done this -1, because we need this index to be stored inside your inventory. So this is why we have done this thing. After that, what we want to do, we want to create a slot. So create widget. So we have created a widget, and the widget would be your slot. So inventory slot, yep, this one. And you can see all the variables we have exposed on spawn are appearing here. So the inventory would be this one. So if you make this exposed on spawn, it will appear here. The slot index would be your this one, this index, and the slot structure would be your array structure. So how do you gonna do that? So get an inventory and get a copy, first get inventory. So get inventory, the inventory array we have just made, and get a copy, not a reference, otherwise your engine might blow up. And this one would be attached to your slot structure. Make this a bit room, it looks clear. The index would be your index of the for loop, so it makes more sense. Hit compile, save. After creating this slot, we want to add it to your inventory. So how do you gonna do that? So remember, we have made this inventory grid. So just grab this and inside and get this one. If you can't find this inventory grid, it's because the inventory grid is not variable. So make sure this is variable is true, otherwise you can't find it in your here. So get your inventory and add child to grid, the function add child to grid, and add it to here. The child, the content we want to add is this slot one, and after adding this one, set column and also set a row. So grab a node from this add child to grid, so you're gonna find this set column and row. So set column and set row, this one. Now obviously a row would be a horizontal line. So how do you gonna do that? So grab an index and search for a integer divided by integer, so this division part, and add this division part to your row. Make sure you are attaching this division part to your row. I'm just gonna add a reroute node to here, so it makes more sense and looks a bit more clean. Yep. And we want to add a modulo. So what is a modulo? The percentage. So you can find this modulo and connect it to here, and the value of this would be your how much column you want to add. So let's say I want to add 4 columns, so I'm gonna just set this 2 to 4. If you want 5 columns, then you can set this 2 to 5. So what is the division? So whenever your index would be greater than 5, this would be divide. So 5 divided by 4, it gives a 1 as an integer value, so it will set your row to 1 and your column would be your remainder. So if you divide 5 to 4, you find 1 and the remainder would be also 1, so the column would be 1 comma 1. So this is how it gonna set the values. So we have done this thing of setting the value, and let's test this out if it's working or not. And before that, make sure your inventory window is focusable. So make sure, click on this root, this inventory window, the first one, and you can find this is focusable. If you don't make this is focusable, so you can't do the inventory interactions. So make sure it is focusable. Now on your inventory component, let's make a function called toggle inventory. On your toggle inventory, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a widget and I'm gonna just promote this one. First I'm gonna call whatever we want to set. We want to make a inventory window. So if you make inventory window, you can see this two, that we have exposed these 2 pins, so you can see it here. In the name we're gonna call this one, and in the inventory component we're gonna just reference it to self. We just gonna promote this one to variable. I'm gonna call it inventory UI, and I'm just gonna add this one to viewport. Yep, this one. You can see we have made a few room here. So get this inventory UI, we have just promoted, and convert it to validate get. So if your inventory is not present, then we're gonna present it to your viewport, but if it's already present, then we're gonna remove it. So how are you gonna remove it? So remove from parent, and what we want to remove, we want to remove this inventory UI. After removing it, we want to set this one to false, I mean none. And whenever we want to after adding this one to your viewport, we want to set interaction. So set input mode to UI only, because we want to set this input mode to UI only. The widget would be your inventory UI, and the player controller, just get player controller, and show mouse cursor. So because we want to show the mouse cursor when we toggle the inventory on. I'm just gonna add a reroute node so it makes clean. When we remove this, we want to set the input back to your game only. So set input mode to game only, and get the player controller from this. So get player controller, and we don't want to show our mouse, so show mouse cursor, and we want to set it to false because we don't want to show our mouse this time whenever we are removing this. So hit compile and save, and we are done these things. So open your player character, and let's say whenever I press tab button, I want to open the inventory. So how are you gonna do that? So grab your inventory and toggle inventory. So whenever I press tab, I want to open the toggle inventory. But when your inventory is toggled, all the inputs gonna go back to your this type, this inventory window. So you can't toggle it back. So if I play, if I tab, you can see this inventory, but if I tab again, you can't toggle it back to none. So how are you gonna fix that? The reason why this is doing is because we have set the input to inventory window, so we have to override a function. So the call on your function and you can find an override in the left of your function, then this would be on a key down. So whenever our key down, we want to override a function. So the key down would be get a key, and the key equal to, if the key is tab, if this true, if your key is tab, then what we want to do, we want to just grab this inventory component we have just made and toggle. So this will gonna toggle it on and off and add it to here. And make sure inside your return value you call it handle. Make sure you do that, it's very important, because otherwise this override we gonna listen all the inputs of your keyboard, and you might face a glitch or FPS drop, and you don't want that. So this is why you should do that handle after returning a key event. So let's say if you can do the toggling part or not. So toggle on and off. Yep, toggling on off. So yes, we have done this part. In the next episode we're gonna set our inventory UI properly to our right side of your screen, and from that further we're gonna move to our inventory window. So this is all for it now. Thank you so much guys for watching, and bye bye.